Why are naturals naturals? Naturals are natural because they're afraid. That's the only reason why they're afraid.
And so all the natural bodybuilders, are y'all just scaredy cats? Oh, I'm natural. Is it because you have high moral values, or are you just afraid? Coach Greg, and in today's video, Jay Cutler says he doesn't need testosterone. He's being interviewed by Milo Sarcev, and they are talking about HRT, the drugs they used to do, and what he's taking now. And Jay, he really wants to come off, but Milos, he says, what's wrong with you? Why would you ever do it? And so we're going to watch this video. We're going to comment on what I'm thinking about what they're saying. And I think everyone has a great opportunity here to learn more about HRT, testosterone, and so on.
Do you think I'd be crazy to stop TRT at a certain point?
Yeah, why would you? Okay,
I'm just saying, no, but now you sound like the peanut gallery.
No, but let's talk about this, okay.
What if my levels stay high enough?
And so Jay at 50, he's done a transformation. He's gotten shredded. He's single-digit body fat. He wants to guest pose, showing the audience just how massive he still is. It says, hey, after this, I want to come off, to go off of HRT, off of everything, and just see how I do. And so what's Milos' response?
Like, what if your test is at 300? Is that good enough?
For women, yes. For every man should be 1,000, and if it's under 1,000, it's alarming, and you have to go to the TRT clinic and get a shot.
And so Milos kind of jokes around and says, well, why would you ever want to be below 1,000? Shouldn't you be optimizing your testosterone? Why would you want to settle at 300? 300 is very low. Even if you're 50, trust me, 300 is not a lot. If I was at 300, I most certainly would want to be on HRT. But Jay argues, says, I don't feel any different. I don't know how this is possible, but Jay says when he cycles off, he doesn't really notice any difference. He says, I always feel good. And so perhaps Jay is an anomaly. Jay could go without testosterone, even if he's got low tests, and still feel good.
I don't feel any different whether I'm off or on.
And so to me, this is just living proof that not everyone needs HRT. Some people with lower levels of tests, they feel great. Other people have moderate or even high levels of testosterone and they don't feel right. And so when deciding if you need HRT, you got to talk it over your doctor. And it's not just about a number. Is 300 the cutoff? Is it 600? Should you be at 1,000? Is 1,000 too high? Don't just assume that because you're a certain age that you automatically need tests. And if you've abused steroids, it doesn't necessarily mean you need HRT for the rest of your life.
Why would you compromise and live it less?
There's too broad of a range where we think is right or wrong.
Okay. But I'm going to tell you this.
What's the right range, Milos?
1,000.
You sure?
Yeah. 1,000 plus.
And so Jay says, well, what is the range? Where should you be? Milo says 1,000 plus, and I 100% disagree. Just stated, everyone is different. If Jay feels great at 300, why would he want to be at 1,000? And trust me, most people who take HRT who are at 1,000 plus, which is to me not HRT, that is hormone perhaps optimization therapy, and it's not replacement because you're taking in more tests than your body would naturally make. How are you replacing something if you're giving it twice as much as it made in the first place? And at 1,000 plus, you could be in fact risking your health. You might have lower HDL cholesterol. You could have perhaps too much estrogen. This could lead to a host of cardiovascular difficulties, resulting in perhaps a heart attack earlier in life.
Last time I came here, he was 2,800.
No. It was 2,000. No.
2,800.
No, it was not 2,800. Come on. Yeah. Come on, dude. 2,000.
I'm so sorry, only 2,000.
You saw the test. You saw the test.
And so Milos is saying, yeah, but Jay, the last time you came here, it was 2,800. And Jay's saying, no, it was 2,000. He says, well, I saw an 8. It was probably 2,080. But regardless of that, 2,080 is a lot. Jay Cutler was not only on testosterone replacement therapy, he was clearly on superphysiological doses. The reference range does not go up to 2,000. And so to be at 2,000, you have to be on it at least what we would consider a small cycle. But obviously he's doing so. He's 50. He used to compete in the Mr. Olympia, and he's trying to guest pose, trying to get in the shape of his life. Well, not perhaps as big as he once was, but he wants to present a physique that at age 50 that people can look up to and say, wow, I can't believe you can look that good at the age of 50.
Okay, so you were on 2,000. No, tell people, how did you felt on 2,000? Any like...
I don't feel any different whether I'm off or on.
And I 100% believe him. Remember, he's being honest, transparent. He's telling us what he did. My testosterone levels are at 2,000. My best look was in this year. I don't look good this year. My shoulders, they're not as big now. The cap isn't there. I want to get shredded. I want all the cross striations in my quads. I want to look more shredded than last time. I was 245 pounds last time I came on. Now I'm a little bit smaller. My test levels were at 2,000 plus. Now I guarantee they're a bit lower. And I want to go off. I want to see if I can go off testosterone and be normal for the rest of my life. Why not? I am willing to do that experiment.
I never felt any difference when I came on or off here, ever.
Good.
And Milos is listening to this. He does have no clue how to respond. He says, good. I mean, frankly, I find it almost impossible to believe that he doesn't feel any different, because I always did, but I am not Jay Cutler. I'm not in his body. How can I comment? When I'm on higher levels of test, I have more energy. I can't sleep as well. I'm amped up all the time, and certainly I feel different, but Jay doesn't. And testosterone and other anabolic steroids, they all affect everyone differently. Some people take steroids and they get angry. Some people take them and they don't. Steroids never made me an angry person. I was never like that. When I took steroids, I felt like Superman. I felt pumped all the time, more energy. I just felt like a better human being. But when I was off, you get a little bit tired. You don't have as much energy. You don't have as much excitement in your life. And so for me, I had to go on HRT, and I'm doing it for the rest of my life. When I stopped taking testosterone completely, my test levels went below 50. I didn't feel good, didn't have as much energy, sex drive in the toilet. And so I most certainly felt very different when off than when I was on.
That means that your body regulates because you get off.
My test level was 70 one time.
Okay. But you didn't feel any different.
I felt fine.
Okay.
And so just because Jay feels good at 70 doesn't mean that others will. And so if you go to a doctor and your testosterone levels are at 200 and the doctor says you need to go on HRT, and you look at him and say, why? I feel great. I have plenty of energy. I don't need to take it. While someone else could go to the doctor at 400 and say, doc, I need some testosterone. I feel horrible. But the doctor says, well, it's at 400. You don't need it. But yet the person at 200 feels better than the person at 400. Everyone is different. We all have different genetics. We all have certain different needs. And so a doctor should treat each patient as a unique case, individual from anyone else. And so these certain reference ranges that we say, oh, you need to be here or there, does that really apply to everyone? Milo says it needs to be at 1,000. Jay says I feel fine at 70. And so which is it? We don't know.
You probably didn't look any females.
No, it was huge.
And so Milo says, yeah, but I bet you weren't looking at girls the same way. You probably weren't as interested. Jay says, I was huge. And so clearly what Milos expects him to say is not what he's saying. Jay is saying, nope, I felt just as good without testosterone as when I was on. And Milos is saying, really? I don't know how that is possible. And so you can see every case is unique. Everyone is different.
You know, some of the best I ever looked was taking HCG on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I took 300 IUs a day.
And so Jay says, the best I've ever looked, I was just taking 300 IUs of human chorionic gonadotropin a day, HCG. That's all he was taking and he felt his best? Yeah, it might increase your testosterone a little bit. People use this while on a PCT to get their testosterone levels back. But is that really enough to look his best? I would have thought the best he ever looked was when he was taking Test, Tren, GH, perhaps Anavar, and so on. But no, 300 HCG a day. But looking your best is arbitrary. Did Jay look his best when he was under 4% body fat competing on stage? Or did he look his best perhaps in the off season after competing while on HCG when he was a little bit fuller? He might have been 20 pounds bigger after the show after it ended while stopping all those steroids while taking HCG. And so we don't really know for sure. Was it the HCG or the fact that perhaps he was in his off season eating more carbs?
So you would say you don't need TRT to the rest of your life. Yes, okay. Why? Because of fear that something's going to happen.
And so Milos is saying, Jay, is the reason why you don't want to take HRT for the rest of your life because of fear? Are you worried it's going to endanger health? Because let's face it, a lot of people in the fitness industry we've seen pass away recently, and perhaps it's related to anabolic steroid use. And so is Jay perhaps scared that by taking HRT that it could in fact shorten his life? If that's the case, it makes sense that he wouldn't want to take it. I mean, think of it. Why would you take HRT if you thought it was going to shorten your life? That to me would be a very valid reason for someone to say, you know, I've had enough with HRT.
Why? Because of fear that something's going to happen.
No.
No? If it's no fear, then why wouldn't you want to have an anabolic
I want to go against the grain and prove that I'm can rebound back.
And so Jay's reason, I just want to be able to say I can do it. I want to go against the grain. I want to be that guy that doesn't need HRT. A guy who abused steroids in the past, admittedly, won multiple Mr. Olympia titles, and now is 100% natural. Not taking anything, and still has an amazing physique. Perhaps he wants to prove the haters wrong. Oh, the only reason Jay still looks good is because he's on HRT. But what if he removes the HRT and remains above 225 pounds of muscle, single-digit body fat? Would you believe him then? And so perhaps it's just for his own ego. I want to show the world that I can do it without HRT. And so to me, nothing wrong with that. Why not go against the grain, not take HRT, and prove all the haters wrong?
I want to prove that I can feel great and still
without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. So if you prove that, okay, so what are you going to say then? Testosterone is not necessary.
And so Milos is saying, yeah, but what's the point? Let's say you do it and you show that you can do it without testosterone. What are you, proving that you don't need HRT? Does that prove that others don't need HRT? Of course not. Some people perhaps are just like Jay and they don't need HRT for the rest of their life. Even after abusing steroids for 10 plus years, they don't need it. While others, for example, Coach Greg, I do need it. I've been off, I didn't feel as good. Remember, Jay said while he was on testosterone versus off, felt the same. Me, not even close. On testosterone felt amazing. Felt like Superman. Off testosterone felt like garbage. Loss of libido, brain fog, no energy. Jay just wants to try it out. Perhaps they can do a study on him. Investigate. Why does he not need testosterone? What are the changes? Perhaps scientists can learn from Jay Cutler.
I would be willing to do a study.
Go ahead. It's very good. I'm happy for you.
And so Milos like, oh, very good. I'm happy for you. He basically is like, I have no idea how this guy can do what he's doing. I certainly can't. And so, well, I'm happy for you. Good for you, Jay. Milos, he's keeping his testosterone.
When we mentioned about naturals, why naturals? Naturals are natural because they are afraid. That's the only reason why they are afraid.
And so all the natural bodybuilders, are you all just scaredy cats? Oh, I'm natural. Is it because you have high moral values, or are you just afraid? I mean, really, it's a valid question. And so I don't think that most natural bodybuilders don't take testosterone because they're afraid. I think they just have values, morals. They just were taught drugs are bad and so on.
So you want to be enhanced by training. So you're going to do enhance your physique by training methods, okay? And then eating according, and then you're going to take a supplement. So you want to be enhanced. That's why you train. Oh, but you don't want to do this because, oh my God, this is so what? Unhealthy because they told you so? Okay, then believe that.
And so Milos, in a way, is saying all you natural bodybuilders out there, you want to be enhanced. You want to be advanced. Clearly, you go to the gym and lift weights so that your muscles look enhanced. You're eating certain foods to get enhanced. You're even taking supplements to look more enhanced. And so if you're taking supplements to build more muscle, why are you not taking testosterone? It has to be because you're scared. Let's say new research came out and they invented a brand new steroid. Side effect free. Put on 20 pounds of muscle in a year. No known negative side effects. And so imagine, for example, if GO2 Max could put on 20 pounds of muscle with no known negative side effects, could do everything it already does, improve your cardio and so on, but also add 20 pounds of muscle. Would you not take it? I'm sure almost all natural bodybuilders would. And why is that? Because, well, it wouldn't be dangerous. And so Milos has a great point. Perhaps that is one of the reasons. One of the reasons people who are natural don't take steroids is because that steroids are not safe. What's wrong with that? And so whether or not you're natural because of your moral values, you just want to see how you can do natural without anything, or because you're afraid, to me, both very valid opinions, very strong reasons to stay 100% natural.
It's not unhealthy if you don't abuse it.
And so in Milos' opinion, it's not unhealthy unless you abuse it. And in others' opinions, maybe it is. And so what's the answer? We don't know. And so if you are natural, stay natural. We don't know for sure that HRT is safe. How many studies have been on guys who've taken HRT for 40 plus years? Probably none. How do we know if there's potential damages being done or not?
I claim that most of the naturals are only natural because of fear that if I take, this is going to damage my health.
But do you understand that, or you don't understand it?
I don't, because anything that I would do in my life, I would research. Really, because somebody told you.
Milos is very confident, based on the research that he's done, that steroids are not dangerous if done in safe or lower doses. Perhaps HRT monitored by a doctor.
What if you were drug tested, though? That's another issue.
ethically, of course.
And so if you're doing competitions in drug-tested sports, you don't want to do steroids, well, obviously that makes sense. We're talking about people who are not competing, that are simply saying, I don't want to take steroids. Milos is saying, well, why aren't you? They're not dangerous if monitored by a doctor. And Jay's response, well, not everyone's the same. Not everyone thinks the same. Perhaps it's just ethics, perhaps it's morals, or perhaps they're scared as well. Everyone is partially right in an answer. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, not telling anyone to take steroids, and obviously if you do, only do so with the advice and consent from your doctor. Never break the law, and I am not a doctor. And if you're looking for G-Test or Harder Than Last Time from the Downstairs or any of the supplements from the Harder Than Last Time website, click the link in the description, use code Greg, gonna give you 10% off. Subscribe, click the bell button. Did you do that yet? Please do. Don't forget to watch one of those videos, and of course, the cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, the Circle diet book, life's work, how to lose weight, keep it off for the rest of your life. Also, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line, tank tops, hoodies, and so on. You all get that at the website. And for free, up to a 50-page diet and training program. It's free. Enter your first and last name and email address. And until next time, I am out.